So for a lot of men out there, I just want to sit up and say, stop dealing with bums. You got a lot of women out here that are bums. We've heard the reverse so many times, right, from women, and how they state that there's a whole bunch of guys that are bums, but yet you never hear any of those women sit up there and state how you have a lot of evil, conniving, vulture, preteristic women directly out there looking for somebody to prey on so that they can ensnare and trap them, because you have a lot of women out here, more than likely like this one, that is a very good liar and a fabricator, and that will, deliver a certain product to you, but the product is completely something else hidden within something else, right? So like I said before, when you go out here with these women, you got to look at all of their actions. You got to look at all the body language, and then within that, you better understand the person mentally, so that you don't get trapped up for 18 plus years, with a woman like this. Like I said, for a lot of guys out there, stop dealing with bums. And I'm only talking to the guys who are decent, the guys who are good. Stop dealing with bums. Stop trying to see the best in a woman that is oh so wrong. There's no reason to sit up there and do that. You're going to end up either losing your life, you're going to end up either being depressed, being sad, being angry, or a variety of other things, none of which are in a sense happy, because you have your life and your energy wrapped around somebody who was never meant for you at all. They were just meant for a season, that was it. They weren't meant for a lifetime. But to all the other guys though, keep on dealing with these bums. You guys will sit up there and make a pair. You guys are making an excellent pair. To all of the other supposed bad guys out there, keep dealing with these women. Keep being bums, and y'all gonna end up creating bum children. Like I said before, chaos plus chaos equals more chaos and self destruction. That is what it is at the end of the day. So much love and appreciation to those of you who have been with me for the 2 year period plus that I've been doing this. Thank you for showing your love and support to the channel. And to anybody else who is brand new to the platform and you would like to support the channel, also you can do it by way of Patreon, Anchor, the clothing store, and also the shoe shop that is listed in the comment description below. And again, thank you to any and all of you guys who have been here to support this channel during the 2+ year period. I wouldn't be able to do what I do every single day without you.
So the whole world is basically bashing me right now because I'm the baby mama who was upset at her baby daddy because he only decided to give his child McDonald's and not the rest of my other 3 kids. I have 4 kids. You knew the situation when you dated me. Our child is the youngest child. So keep that in mind before y'all make me the villain. That means all my other kids knew him. He was buying the McDonald's when we were together. My kids have to go through a transition of our breakup as well. Like, yeah, me and you broke up, but my kids got to feel it too. So now my kids have to see only one of their siblings get McDonald's and not the rest of them. And they know it's coming from you because, of course, like me and you used to be together. They used to see you. You used to do it for them. But now you don't want to do that for them anymore. Like, to me, that's petty. That's petty. Like, it's not fair. Like, you're not finna give one child McDonald's and not all the other kids McDonald's. Like, I'm not going. And then on top of that, you mean to tell me you can dib and dab and want to do it sometimes, but yet you can't feed all my other kids McDonald's though? That's what you mean to tell me? Like, I'm not going for that. I'm going to stand on what I said, and I don't care what everybody else have to say about it. Y'all could judge me. Oh, well, I could be the villain, but I said what I said. Like, if you can't bring everybody McDonald's, then can't nobody have McDonald's then. Period.
Now, the main thing I want people to pay very close attention to, the fact that her eyebrows are looking like they're about to fly away, is the fact that she said, you can't afford to pay for the rest of my kids and to bring them McDonald's. Notice what she said. Notice how possessive that is. She said, the rest of my kids. And this is the main point that I was trying to make within my other video. Just because you guys were in a relationship at one point in time, and he might have done some stuff when he was in that relationship, when he was there, when he was present, right? He did that of his own free will. He wasn't actually obligated to do it. It doesn't mean that just because you guys broke up, that he has to still be obligated, or it's still needed for him to do whatever it is that he did before. That's not how that works. His only obligation, his only responsibility is solely to that one child, DNA wise, that he had with you. You guys are not married, you guys are not divorced. So legally, or whatever it is, or even morally, he is not obligated to feed the rest of those kids. What you need to sit up there and do is get up off your butt and actually get a job and start working, because it makes no sense how you say that, oh, my kids are hungry, every if your son is eating, then everybody has to eat. If your son is the only one eating, then ain't nobody going to be sitting up there eating. That's what selfishness looks like. That's what bogusness looks like. And on top of the fact that you're talking about you can't afford certain things, but I'm noticing your makeup done. I'm noticing your eyebrows done. I'm noticing your hair done. Eyelashes done. Lipstick done. I'm noticing all of this stuff is done, but yet your kids are struggling and you are struggling with not being able to properly feed your kids, even though you laid down and created those kids. That I'm highly baffled. And as I stated before, right? You have a lot of remote jobs that people can apply for or receive training for that pay a lot of money, meaning that she can be as lazy as she wants to, sit on her butt at her house and have a job that is actually decently paying, so that she is not siphoning or depending solely on government assistance in order for her to get the things that she needs in order to properly provide for her kids, which as an adult, as a mother, she should already be able to do. But for whatever reason, she decides that she wants to go oh so hard on the one father that is actually there doing his job, but yet she doesn't have that same anger, that same animosity, that same jadedness, all of that energy that she has for him. She would never deliver that to all of those guys that laid with her, that she selectively chose, right, to lay with on her back and allow them to impregnate her so that they can produce kids. Where are the other fathers at? Like I said, we have one black father that is there, that is present, but yet you're trying to make it to the extent that he's not no longer going to be present, because you're making it very difficult for him just to do very basic things. And the main things that I've always said up there and stated is that at no point in time should a father, let alone a black father, have to sit up there and fight for his child. Do you understand how stupid that sounds? A father has to fight for his child, a child that he had a hand in producing, bringing into this world. Like I said, I've never heard of a mother that basically stated, "Oh, I have to fight to see my kids. I have to fight." I've never heard of that ever. It's always normally men who say that they have to sit up there and fight with the other woman in order to see their kids, in order to be near their kids, in order to do the necessary things that they specifically want to do. It's women like her that would get angry at the fact that he would buy his son, right, a uniform. Let's say if they're in private school, she would get mad if he bought stuff for his science project, paid for his trip, paid for his uniforms, paid for his sports and all this other type of stuff. And then she'll be like, oh, well, if you're going to pay for his stuff, then you need to be paying for all these other kids stuff, because they're going to be doing sports too. And if you're only going to pay for his stuff, then ain't nobody doing sports. She's the type of woman to literally do some stuff like that. You already seen what she did with food. And food is, in a sense, even though that is garbage at the end of the day, which is McDonald's, because she should be cooking, she should be 100% able to cook, right? I'm not sure why it is that she's not cooking, or if she even has the knowledge base to. I'm not even going to get into it. I'm just not, because it seems like she has much more of a knowledge base on makeup and keeping herself, physically looking fine, versus actually producing necessities in order to provide properly for a household full of kids. Like I said, the whole thing is backwards at this moment in time. Her main priority was trying to find a dude to lay up with, right? Instead of trying to find a guy who was properly suited and stable enough to be a boyfriend, a fiance, and a husband, right? Somebody who was going to be a provider, somebody who was going to be there for the long term. That's not where her head was, and that's not where her body was. Her body was focused on the here and now, and how it is that a man can basically make her feel good. And this is clear cut why she has 4 to 5 kids. This is clear cut why the other men are nowhere in the picture when it deals with the children, because of the type of individual that she is. She is an overbearing individual that a lot of men would not want to sit up there and deal with. They might deal with her for certain thing, but they're not going to deal with her on a long term, because no man wants to deal with a woman like this. And that's just facts. The only one brave enough to even try to have an amicable relationship just so that he can see his kids and spend time with his kids and different things like that was the father that was clear cut getting berated due to the fact that he didn't bring enough food for the whole household. And like I said before, that didn't make any sense to any woman out there. No man is obligated to directly feed, clothe, be near, be around, to teach, to raise anybody else's child. If a man wants to sit up there and do that on his own accord, that's on his own willpower. That is not a necessity for him to do. That is not a need for him to do. That is strictly something that he decided within himself he wanted to take the responsibility and do, either full term or during the time that he's with you. As I've stated before, when a guy is no longer with you and he was doing all of those things, that does not then mean that he is still obligated to still do those things as if you guys are married and y'all created all of those kids. Y'all created one child. Focus on that one child. And as the guy sat up there and gave a solution, he was like, yo, allow my son to sit up there and just like take the food and allow him to eat in his room. She was like, no. He was like, all right, then fine, bring him outside and he can sit up there and eat in the car and it'll be completely fine and dandy. She still said no. Like, that's crazy to me. So what? So what does that mean? So that means that if the father wants to take his son out on a trip or on a vacation somewhere, he got to take the rest of your kids too? Nah, that's crazy. He, like I said, no man is obligated to do any of that. And this basically showcases how nonsensical and illogical her argument is, because she feels that if one man is sitting up there doing it, then you need to be doing it for everybody. Everybody deserves the exact same thing. You wasn't thinking about that when you was laying down with several other guys creating children that you couldn't afford to sit up there and take care of and hold on to and feed properly. You wasn't thinking about that. You're on government assistance. How dare you sit up there and try to tell this man what it is that he should and shouldn't be doing? What you should have done in the beginning is close your legs. After that first child, that should have been it. You should have sat up there and either sewn it up. You should have been taking Plan B. You should have been using a variety of contraceptives, or you should have been abstaining. There's a variety of things that you could have sat up there and did as a woman, but that's not what you wanted to do. But yet you want to sit up there and turn around and tell a guy who was actually there out of the other fathers what it is that he should and shouldn't be doing. You want to try to expose him and make him seem to the world as if he's the villain and a criminal, and you're just like America's sweetheart. That's not how that rolls. That's not how that rolls. And I'm so very happy that you made that video and you told on yourself, and the whole world knows the type of individual that you are. And because you're this type of individual, the world also can understand the other types of individuals that you are friends with, because birds of a feather flock together. Case in point, like I told men before, be very careful of the women that you decide to associate yourself with. Be very careful of the women that you decide to lay down with. Be very careful of the women that you decide to procreate with, so that you don't end up in the exact same video as the guy that we were able to see.